we have some of the strongest arms control laws in the world, I think, here. So that's great that the Labour Party are going to do that as well, but they're already in place. There's quite a few points that they've made here. On the Saudi thing, I meet frequently with the Saudi ministers, particularly the general in charge of the Yemen one, and we have been what I would consider really a critical friend, because we do give them a grilling every time they come and see us, and they are really worried about their PR on the Yemen now. So they come and talk to us. And the thing about the cluster munitions, obviously we've all signed up, but Saudi didn't sign up. How they fitted them to the plane, nobody knows, because actually they weren't, after I think it was about 1985, we sold them cluster munitions, and the planes that they've got shouldn't physically be able to get them on, so they're looking into that, why that's happening. But we've also, and I've been asking in Parliament several times if we can have a UN report on any violations in Yemen, because obviously that's an area which I'm very interested in. And you can see through all my speeches that I ask about those frequently. We've talked about the employment, that's very important, arms control. In fact, we export some of the best sniper rifles in the world.
Arms over Syria, Aleppo, airstrikes, Assad, non-stop media coverage. A tremendous humanitarian crisis. Possibly the worst in the Middle East? Nope, that's Yemen. 19 million people are in need of some kind of humanitarian assistance there. That's around 70% of the population. Why doesn't the media cover this? Surely it's an important story. Yemen is a battlefield for influence between two regional superpowers, Saudi Arabia and Iran. Iran backs Houthi rebels, and they booted the Saudi lapdogs out of power. So in March 2015, the Saudi-led coalition started attacking Yemen and imposed a naval blockade to bomb the Houthis. More than 8,000 airstrikes have been carried out since then. Over 10,000 people killed. Around half of them were civilians, the majority of whom were killed by Saudi airstrikes according to the UN. And yes, bombing civilians is a war crime, but we don't hear much about that either. All of this bombing would never be possible without the Saudis' good old buddy America, which supplied Saudi Arabia with cluster bombs and other bombs and still helps them refuel their fighter jets, plus provides intelligence for the kingdom. This is not to mention that Yemen, which has to import 90% of its food, fuel, and medical supplies, is currently on the brink of famine due to a Saudi port blockade. So why do we only hear about Syria?